YouTube should bring back YouTube Rewind, and it's not what you expect. I think they should add a tab where you could basically see your favorite creators as well as creators that you found along the way over the course of the year. Welcome back. We're in the studio this time. Welcome back to the Realest Podcast, episode 23. Banner right there. Look at that. We added some photos, well, at least one photo. For any of you guys watching, I forgot to take a photo with Oliver. He was our episode 22 episode, and man, if you guys saw that one, I was extremely tired. As well as he was in. He had to get home, and I took a photo with the boys from Juvie. Goodness sakes. Welcome back. But yeah, I took a photo with them, and then I was like, oh crap, I forgot to take a photo with Oliver. And that was kind of that. My bad. But that was also sleep deprived me. So if you guys haven't watched that episode, you guys crushed that. That was like our 2 out of 10 episodes. So shout out to you guys who watched that. And yeah, it's been epic just to kind of see this podcast grow. I do want to mention we are at 98 subscribers at the time of recording this. And I'm so baffled. I'm so baffled to see how this has grown over the past 6 months, like literally 6 months of this podcast, even with like a break in between. I think when I took a break, I think we are at like 70 subscribers, maybe 80 subscribers. I could be wrong. We might have been at like 81. So yeah, we've grown a little bit as we've started to post again. I've dedicated myself to posting a podcast a week and giving you guys my best every single week on this podcast, because this is the Realest Podcast. And if you guys saw both those episodes, the one with the boys from Juvie, episode 21, and then Oliver, episode 22, you guys know I'm giving my best. Even sleep deprived me, and just whatever I want to say on the podcast, on the Juvie episode. Great episode, by the way. I really love that episode. We actually recorded a video, a real life video, on the main channel. And let me tell you, Nationers, this is insane. That video, as of right now, is at 1,315 views. It is a 1 out of 10 video. Like, absolutely insane. And that's really also due to another creator friend of mine who had shared that video with his audience. And we hit 2,500 subscribers yesterday. And then now we're at 2,619. So the power of my friend Jakerton, shout out him. Would love to get him on the podcast soon. So if you guys want to see that, make sure to hit that subscribe button, because we're closing in on 100 subscribers on this channel, the podcast channel. And I'm super duper excited about that. This the bingo video was a 4 out of 10. So if you guys don't know what I'm talking about on YouTube, it ranks your past 10 videos based on views. And basically what that was, it was fourth at that time. So after a day, for all 10 of those videos, it shows all the views and all that good stuff. So it was a 4 out of 10, and now it's a 1 out of 10, and it's going to stay there for the past 10 videos, I imagine. So with all that said, I want to get into the podcast, Nationers. I've been really just trying to dial in, like a good format for this podcast, and I think we've really began to find that words. I think we've really been beginning to find that groove and find that just groove. I don't know how else to describe it, but really just find that groove and find like a format that really works for us. And I'm super excited because I'm not going to announce it. You guys will kind of see it, but today we are going to be I want to talk about the Spotify Wrapped, because it's an annual event and how that relates into YouTube Rewind, as well as PewDiePie and his pizza eating. Very interesting how he eats pizza. And we're going to talk about that today, as well as one of the biggest videos, not only of this year, but the biggest video to probably ever live on YouTube, with MrBeast Squid Games. We're going to get into all of that today. I'm super excited to talk on this, because Spotify Wrapped, if you guys don't know, I have struggled to ever like find my Spotify Wrapped. Like I go on to Spotify, and apparently this year it was like a little story, and you have to, go through it like an Instagram story. Well, that didn't show up on my phone, and I was a little upset because I had to use my sister's phone to find that, and I would love to share it, but I can't share it. So I had to remember this off the top of my head, but I wanted to share my Spotify Wrapped with you guys, where they basically talk about, your top artists, top songs, top genres. And, as it's an annual event, I would love to at least share it with you guys because, we also had a Spotify Wrapped for this podcast, which was really, really cool. And I shared that on the Instagram story yesterday. But I think on the top of my head, we reached, you know what? I'm gonna look it up. I'm going to have to look it up because I really do not know off the top of my head, which is a shame of me. But let's see. So we had 10 fans listening to this podcast more than any other podcast. So this was your number one podcast, which was insane to even see, like 10 of that, 10 people. This was also saying that 42% of you guys listened to it on Spotify between 5 p.m. and 11 p.m. So, maybe we can go do some ASMR so you guys can fall asleep. Also, we reached 1,400, almost 1,500 minutes watched on the podcast. So shout out to you guys on the Spotify gang and any audio listeners out there. I wish they had more stuff for the audio listeners, but Spotify seems to be doing the annual Wrapped more than any other platform. But I also want to talk about YouTube Rewind in that regards. But before that, hello, microphone. Are you going to... There we go. I wanted to share with you guys my Spotify Wrapped because, again, it's an annual event. We'd love for you guys to hear a little bit more about me and the music that I'm listening to. So, yeah, my top artists, I'll go from 5 to 1. So my fifth artist that I listened to the most was myself. It was actually TheRealestPodcast. It was myself on Spotify. And, I found that very shocking. I didn't think I was going to be in my top 5. So shout out to, seems a little narcissistic to shout out myself, but, yeah. Number 4 was, Stream Beats by Harris Heller. This was really funny to see because like I listen to music on stream and, it just so happens that I listened to his music enough that he ended up on my top 4. So that was really, really fun to see. I wish there was probably another artist because it's not really an artist. It's just a user. Eminem coming in third, top 3. Eminem, somebody who I've listened to a lot, talked about a lot, and one of my favorite rappers of all time. And top 3. Number 2, NF. For those that don't know NF, highly, highly recommend NF. Definitely a lot more personal. Not so much of the rap that is, that's flex my money, cars, and people in my life. Whereas this is talk about the people in your life, how they've impacted you, the things that they've gone through. So that's an F for you guys. If you guys haven't listened to him, definitely give him a listen. And then my number one artist on my Spotify Wrapped is Russ. Now, I've listened to Russ for a long time, and Russ is just one of those guys that's, versatile to me. I mean, obviously not one of the better rappers that I've heard, but just, super motivating and self-driven, and obviously his story is super awesome to see how he's came from just, uploading a song a week and dropping 7 to 8 projects before he even had, like, his first one even gain recognition. And it just shows the hustle that he had. And, obviously it's paying dividends for him as he's going on tour again. So, yeah, shout out Russ. Shout out all the people on this list. We're going to get into top songs. Now, most of these are pretty much from the same person or the same people as my top artist. But there is one difference. So, we're going to go from number 5. This is Kanye West, Off the Grid. We off the grid. This from... Yeah. Yep. Kanye West. Surprisingly, that song came out in September and, late August, September. And it somehow made it on there in the past 3 months. So shout out to Kanye. And number 4, Yolanda by TheRealestPodcast. Surprisingly, it got on here. Didn't see that one coming, to say the least. Number 3, Italy by Russ. I remember when the song came out. It was right before my first Spartan race. I had basically done, or not what done. I was driving down, and like I drove down Friday. I'm going to stay. What day did I drive down? Regardless, the song came out right before I was going to my first Spartan race down in Washougal, and I found it really funny because I just listened to it all the entire way there. Like I probably listened to it like so many times. And then number 2, When I Grow Up by NF. Now this is probably one of my bangers that really gets me motivated. When I grow up, yeah. That's pretty much it. It's not the Pussycat Dolls When I Grow Up. That song's also a banger. I used to listen to that song a lot growing up. Nicole Swearinger. When I grow up, I want to be famous. I want to be a star. I want to make movies. Oh, what a great song. And then my number 1 song is Lost by NF featuring Hopsin. This song came out early 2021. And man, I was on it. I remember seeing the song. On my recommended for a long time, and I just never clicked it, and it was so persistent on my recommended, and I finally listened to it, and it was like, boom, 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 and I was like, oh God, this orchestral pieces. Oh, yeah, it's a good song. Then my top genres. I have no idea what my genres were, but I'd have to assume it's hip-hop and rap. So, put those at 2 and 1. So, hip-hop and 2, rap at number 1. Don't know, don't remember any of that. But I also wanted to mention, since I actually do have music out on Spotify, my Spotify Wrapped as a artist. So they have like a little Spotify artist app where you could see your Spotify Wrapped, and you could basically see what it is for, you as a artist. And so we totaled 2,600 streams, which is insane. 44 listeners, so 44 individuals who listen to my music. So shout out to all of you. And 115.6 hours listened, as well as we hit 5 different countries, which is super insane. And it's super awesome to see like the Nationers and this brand and this identity grow, and this just everything that this involves. And I was really, really happy to see that. 2,500 streams. That's insane. That's basically half of what the bingo video is now. So if you guys are interested in listening to some of my songs, just look up The Real Jared on Spotify. I'm in the process of getting something done with it, so if it doesn't show up, feel free to just DM me. I'll send you a link to it, because I'm doing some stuff with just figuring out stuff. You know what I'm saying? Figuring out stuff with my identity. Actually, it's Jared Hathaway. Look up Jared Hathaway, and you'll find it. It should pop up if you look up Jared Hathaway, you will find it. But regardless, that was my Spotify Wrapped for this year. Super duper excited for it next year. Would love to see how that changes and what the numbers look like from a quantitative standpoint, as well as what some of the songs are that I'm listening to. Is it going to be the same? You'll have to find out next year. I imagine I'll probably still be listening to the same artists other than Stream Beats by Aaron Seller. So we'd love to see what that looks like next year. So if you guys are here, let me know what your guys' Spotify Wrapped is, and who you listen to the most. And Spotify Wrapped. Also, I think YouTube should bring back YouTube Rewind. And it's not... Let me say this again. YouTube should bring back YouTube Rewind. And it's not what you expect. I think they should add a tab where you could basically see your favorite creators, as well as creators that you found along the way over the course of the year. And they should call it YouTube Rewind. Pretty simple. Pretty simple. You just have a place where you can see a catalog of users that you watched, your favorite videos, the videos that you engaged the most, like how many comments you left on, throughout everything. And I mean, it's super simple, like you left like 1,000 likes this year, or you left 2,000 comments, you watched the Sidemen the most, you watched Air Rack the most, Ryan Trahan the most. And that's pretty much it. Well, YouTube Rewind they should bring back YouTube Rewind, but not as the video. They should bring it back as like a tab during the month of December. It's super, super easy. And YouTube, if you have any questions, let me know. Anyways, Speaking of YouTube, obviously this is a podcast about society and culture, as that's what we're labeled on Spotify. Regardless, obviously we do talk a lot about YouTube and the creator economy and what's going on, and obviously things that go on our general life, you know? But I wanted to talk about pizza, okay? PewDiePie and pizza. Why would anybody, not just PewDiePie, why would PewDiePie eat pizza from the center of the pizza to the crust? Why would you do that? Just why? Just like why? Think about it. It's like eating a cake from the center to the edge. It's like eating a brownie from the center to the edge. It's like eating a pie from the center to the edge without any slices. Because obviously you eat it from the center to the edge when it's cut, but when there's no cuts, like what? Well, he basically grabbed a knife and fork in one of his recent videos where he made pizza for him and his wife, Marzia. And he made it from scratch, and, you know, he baked it, and he grabbed his knife and fork and started chopping up the middle piece, and I was like, he's actually done it. He actually wasn't lying, because he talked about this in like a Reddit video. He talked about this in a Reddit video where he actually eats pizza from the center in, and it becomes like a hair tie. Basically becomes a hair tie. So imagine this hair tie's whole, and it becomes a hair tie. Am I devastated to see that? I think there's a proper way to eat pizza, and I don't think that's the proper way to eat pizza. So if you eat pizza like that, please let me know, because I think it is wrong. I think it's wrong. Who would enjoy a pizza? Imagine it has like a lot of toppings, but I don't know. Maybe it's like good for when you're actually eating like it with a lot of toppings, because like when you try and have the pizza like full on up, like it falls at the tip and like the toppings fall off, So maybe I could see where it does work, but what I would rather do, here's my solution for this, okay? So imagine this podcast thing in the middle here is a pizza. It's a rectangular or somewhat oval pizza, right? You don't eat it from the center in, you eat it from the edge, one edge to the other, like a football field. You're trying to get to the other end, so you start at like the 1 yard line and you work your way to the end zone. That's basically how you do it. You just eat it through there and you go left to right, left to right, left to right. And that's how I think you should eat pizza if you don't eat it via slices. So, PewDiePie, we need to talk. Like, how do you go about your day knowing that you eat pizza like that? Like, it's a little difficult, The man's got 110 million subs. And MrBeast is probably going to pass him. Like, MrBeast will most likely pass him within the next year and a half. I really believe that. He grew 9 million subscribers. 9 million subscribers from that Squid Game video, which is absolutely insane. Shout out Jake Paul. 6 mil or 5 mil YouTube, been 6 months, never done before. Yeah. Talk about a week. Okay? No, 5 mil on YouTube, been 6 months, never done before. Nah, fam. Talk about a week. Oh my. I want to talk about MrBeast Squid Games. I'm going to talk about the video itself, the records that it's broke, some of the details that you may not have known that went into this video, as well as what this means for just the creator economy. Not even economy. What does this mean as a creator myself? And this video was huge. This video was huge. So how it all started was MrBeast. He basically posted a TikTok and said, if I get 10 million likes on this TikTok, I'll create Squid Game in real life. That video obviously got more than 10 million likes, and as we know, he created Squid Game. Funny story behind that TikTok. So I am a part of Creator Now, as you guys know, and one of the workshops was with Rohan Kumar. He does the TikTok, short form content, TikToks at least, for MrBeast. He does that for MrBeast. And it was really, really interesting because he talked about when they were at Vid Summit, he basically talked about how he made it. And when they were at Vid Summit, Squid Game was like hot. It was literally like on a boiling pot, you know? And he basically pulled up the green screen effect on TikTok and basically put the photo of Squid Game behind it, and then had Jimmy just point up to the top. And they ran through for like the next 2 to 3 weeks, maybe even like 2 to 3 weeks of what that text should be. And man, is it revolutionary, because not only that detail to figure out what the text should be up there, because he's just pointing up. And yeah, that was very, very interesting. Sorry to spoil that, but it's not even spoiling that, you know? It's just a little bit behind the scenes, you know? And it was really, really cool to kind of hear how that all came about, because that video was made in September and uploaded like right before Halloween. So super cool to see, and it was really, really awesome because it finally came to life. And I'm not going to lie, it was really, really cool because that video broke the most viewed video in one day by a non-music or trailer video. So we know that some music videos do get a ton of views within the first day. We also do know that a ton of trailers get a ton of views in the first day. So those kind of get negated because they're not technically creators. They just happen to be one of the bigger videos on YouTube. Well, YouTube, Jimmy, MrBeast, decided that he's going to break that. Well, he didn't actually decide. He probably knew that he was going to break that. We probably knew that he was going to break that. I've seen a lot of people estimating like what the video was going to be like after a day. I think at 3 hours, it was like at 8 mil. It might have been 5 hours. It might have been at like roughly around 8 mil. I could be wrong. But I'd estimate it to be at 32,000 by the end of the day. By the end of, a 24-hour period. The video had 42,000 views. 42,000 views, which is insane to even think about. Like, hypothetically thinking about that. I don't even think I said 42. No, not even 1,000. 42 million. Why did I say 1,000? 42 million views. I don't think I've said that many words in my life. And I'm 20 years old. And I talk a lot. And I should probably stop talking a lot. But I'm doing a solo podcast. So how does that work? Regardless, 42 million views in one day. My estimation for the 24-hour period was 32 million, because I was like, okay, if it's about like 1.4 million views per hour, multiply that by 24, you get roughly around 32. I just happen to be 10 million off. And, I hold it against me. Man, at least I got the 2 right. But regardless, that video now sits at 145 million views, which will become his top viewed video. And I'm actually going to look it up right now because it's probably even more. It's at 147. His most viewed video is 149, if I'm not wrong. 155. Second to that is 149, 149. 155, solitary confinement, 50 hours in it. That's his most viewed video. That's definitely going to take it over. 8 million more views. That video, video's ridiculously good. It's nutty. Literally nutty. So, yeah, he's most likely going to break his record. I predict that video by the end of, like, January to be at, like, 200,000 views. Or 200,000, bro. What the frick? 2 million. 200 million views. That's going to be one of his most viewed videos. Like, that is insane. Because as a creator, like, those numbers are, like, unfathomable. Like, 200 million views are, like, music video level videos. And you don't see people just getting 200 million views like nothing. Like, 1 million to, like, 10 million is, like, good. I'd even say, like the range of 10 to 20 million is just, like, not super likely. Like, you'll get people who, like, 1 to 10 million is really, really what a lot of creators get. And 145 million is a lot. And usually that accumulates over time. But no, this has been like 2 weeks, like a week and a half. It's like a week and a half. It hasn't even been 2 weeks. It's gotten 20 million views almost per day. More than that. It's been insane. It's like actually insane. So, yeah. To that point, I do want to talk about the Squid Game in real life, like the actual Squid Game that was on Netflix. And that that viewership at 111 million. And by a week, less than a week, the MrBeast Squid Games had more views than the actual Squid Game on Netflix, which is insane. Super duper ridiculous to even think about. And yeah, that's basically the comparison between that. Like, that is actually insane. And again, most people aren't probably going to be going back towards the Squid Games on Netflix because they've most likely already seen it. And now they basically are just watching the Jimmy version. They're watching the Jimmy version. But beyond that, I think this video, MrBeast's video, really shows us as video creators, content creators, that we're more than just YouTubers. We're more than just TikTokers. We're more than just streamers. We're more than a person who just uploads for fun. Like, there are people like Jimmy who are increasing the level of success that we can achieve in the mainstream. And I mean, we've obviously seen a ton of ton of content creators go mainstream. We've seen Tyler Oakley flop, Liza Koshy flop, Lily Singh flop. But like, to pioneer something that Jimmy has done, not only for us as creators, but for himself. Like everyone knows Jimmy on YouTube. Like, everyone knows MrBeast on YouTube. The idea, though, is how does that reach beyond just YouTube? You know, Logan Paul, Jake Paul, even KSI, they've obviously had a lot of mainstream success, right? They've had a lot of that. Whereas, like, Jimmy, like, he was on a late night show, and it's just slowly creeping in. Like, these guys who I just mentioned have been in YouTube forever. Like, they built up an audience and kind of taken that to mainstream. Whereas Jimmy's like, I'm going to pioneer this all on YouTube, and then we're going to blow up the face of the earth on mainstream platforms. Like, they talked about a Netflix series of doing something like that, and Netflix rejected that idea. And another reason to not buy Netflix. So, god damn, Netflix, you really got to step up your game. So yeah, that's it's very, very cultivating and really awesome to see how all of that, like literally all of that, has played out into that video, the build up to it, the anticipation for the Beast Games, and love to see how that impact really happens on the Team C side. I think they're running up at 18 million right now. I think the last time I saw it was 17 million, but I would love to see, I'm going to look it up right now. Team C's. Let's see. They were at 17.6 last time I saw it. That's a lie. They're at 17.5. 17,517 pounds done. So far, that's what they've raised. Obviously, 13 million to go and a month to do it. Is it possible? Is it possible? So, obviously, super cool to see that. A lot of VFX went into that, actually. It was really, really cool. A lot of CGI, a lot of video effects went into that. And, yeah, it is going to be a good road ahead, not only for YouTubers, but I'm excited about this journey, you know, as we're going into the next year. We're going into, you know, what everyone says is 2022, like the quote-unquote new year. I'm really, really excited about that. And honestly, I really think that, you know, as we continue to grow, it's just going to be like, you know, we're at 2,500 now, we're at 5K, now we're at 10K turned into 15K, you know, something realistic, you know. And I think maybe for me, I've had a change of heart about like trying to reach like 100K by the end of the year. Like, is it possible? Surely. Yeah. I watched my friend literally go from 3,000 to 100K in a month, you know, and a lot of that's because he's built up a catalog for it, and he's built up a way that works for him. And finding a way that works for me is really key for me right now. Like, that's my main focus, is finding a way to basically make that happen. And not only that, but to grow this podcast and reach new people. And to all of those who are watching and listening, I just want to shout out you guys. I'm super thankful for you guys, and really grateful to have people like you in my life who just continue to aspire and continue to cultivate this brand, and really just hit home the message of being a nationer, you know, having confidence within your day-to-day to make things happen. And yeah, I mean, with that is the end of the episode, Nationers. Episode 23. Shout out to all these lovely people. If you guys don't follow us on Instagram at TheRealestPod, is it TheRealestPod? I never know. It's TheRealestPod. Stupid Instagram won't have me The Realest Podcast. But anyways, just look up The Realest Podcast. You'll find it. Regardless, thank you to all of these guys. Thank you so much for listening, viewing, and subscribing. We are at 98 subscribers. We're super close, Nationers. We're super close. Regardless, I appreciate you guys tremendously, and I hope you guys have a great rest of your day. This decor is going to be a little bit different because we're setting up for Christmas. So shout out to Old St. Nick, baby. Santa Claus, baby. We'll see you later. Have a good one. Remember to live, 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 and I'll see you guys later. Have a good one. 07. Peace. Peace.